What's up guys, Barry Gaming here, back with some more AFK Journey, and today we're going to be discussing the comparison between the newest hero, Mikola, and Ludovic, because both these heroes, again, fill a very similar role. All three of these heroes, including Smokey and Mirky, well, they just kind of fit in the same niche, and we need to see exactly how this is going to break down, because with all of our heroes here, we are going up, which I think this is the very last boss we haven't covered yet. I think Skyclops was the first one when Mikola came out, so this is the kind of finale. You'll probably notice on your servers nobody is really using Mikola, but I want to do an exact comparison for you guys to see what is going on. Some of these teams use Ryanair, other ones are using Coco. And I've done a couple tests already, so I kind of already have a good basis to go off of here. I was even trying to use multiple heroes, but this right here is the standard. Where are you, Coco? This team is pretty much what is always being run. We have Lily May in the mix. We have, of course, Smokey and Mirky. We have the Coco for the damage reduction and the shield, because remember, this boss is going to lower the healing that we get to output here. I never realized they actually gave them magic charms that do nothing. And then Ludovic. Ludovic's in here for additional healing and also for some damage. So let's show you guys the typical setup here. This is typically the best team, and I want to do a little comparison showing what Mikola can do versus Ludovic, because again, we thought Mikola again was going to be a Ludovic 2.0 with her damage output on her Mythic Plus. Still think it's bugged. That's just my take on it. We'll have to see in the weeks to come if Mikola gets any types of like fixes or anything, if it is even a bug. But you'll notice here, Ludovic providing a lot of healing output here, while also providing damage whenever that little plant growth, little patch of earthy grass goes under the melee units, which sadly is only Freyesto here, so it's not under him that often to do damage. Occasionally it is. I wish we could get our heroes in a little bit better placement, but as you guys can see, towards the end of the battle, we are going to lose some heroes. We lost the Coco, and then we're probably going to lose the rest of the support right here, with only Lily May living to the end, and that was actually a very decent hit. Or actually, you know what? 47 billion, not quite my record, but still very, very close. And you'll notice here too, everybody is still using evocation spell on this one because, well, we're doing magic damage mainly. So what happens damage number wise if we simply substitute out the Ludovic for the Mikola? We're gonna try a couple different combinations here so you guys can see how they turn out. We of course are still getting good healing with the Mikola. Sadly, her damage output just isn't really that great, which will show you guys the scorecard at the end of this one so you can compare the next couple of tests. But overall, yeah, it's still a very good composition, but again, having the exact right support heroes typically nets you a difference of like 1 to 5 billion damage difference, which doesn't sound like a lot when you're doing over 40, maybe even close to 50, but when we're talking about going for like super high ranks, it does become extremely important how that actually works out. So you can see here, even with the Mikola, we are keeping everybody alive for the time being, and now this is where we start losing heroes, but we lose them much quicker than when we had the Ludovic here. You can see we lost everybody before the end here. Still a decent amount of damage, but 2 billion short. And you can just see Mikola's damage is essentially non-existent. So let's jump into the next test just to show you guys what's going on here. I actually want to try without Smokey this time. So we still want Ludovic, and we want Mikola pretty much in that old Smokey spot. She's providing almost the same thing. So we'll have to see how the performance actually works here, because I don't think I've done this test yet. I don't think I've taken Smokey out of the team. I just don't think that's really something that is viable. At least I don't think it is. And overall, it's looking okay. The downside here is Mikola is not going to do the damage that Smokey can. So even if she's providing better buffs and even maybe better healing, that might not mean much. Because again, we're only at 35 billion, 30 seconds left. That doesn't sound very good at all. Yeah, it's not good at all. We're like 10 billion behind. So substituting her out for the Smokey, definitely not an option in this case here. So let's use our next attempt to try something a little different. So in this situation, we do need Smokey. What happens if we take out Coco and we go for a triple healer type setup? We're going more all in on the healing output on this boss. Maybe that is something that can keep him alive. Granted, the shields from Coco, the damage reduction from Coco, most likely that is going to be required in this setup. I just don't think there's any other way around it. The only other thing I could think is maybe dropping like Freesto, which kind of sounds stupid, but I think on Alpha Bear he doesn't do too much damage. And if we do have Mikola is a melee unit. I think that's the issue, is we already have a melee unit, so adding another melee unit into the mix is usually a negative thing on the Alpha Bear. You can see here barely not even getting out, but yeah, we did hit 40 billion, so not horrible, but again, not what you want to be going for. So let's take a look at the final damage card here. It's just really, it's gonna be really hard to make up Fresto's damage if he's not in the mix here, and having the illusion is really big. So let's just try this. I am not expecting much to go well right here. We're gonna group everybody up. Let's just see what happens. We're not going to use Freesto. It's a strategy nobody's using. It's probably for very good reason. It's just not going to add up, I think. This is just not going to be the damage output we are looking for. But hey, we'll see what happens right here. It might be some good damage. It might not. What I will say is we will get our growth levels on Lily May extremely fast with this team, and we will be the tankiest, healiest team possible, besides maybe running like a Haywin for extra damage reduction stuff, but Haywin doesn't provide much elsewhere. We are coming up to 40 billion with 30 seconds left, and we are keeping our heroes alive, so this is actually not horrible. We're at 40 billion, 18 seconds. Let's see how much damage Lily May can do at the end here. And again, with this strategy, we are going to keep everybody alive down to the 3-second mark. Just not even close in reality. It's just not going to cut it. In reality, you need to have that Freesto on this team. If you have the Freesto in this team, you're going to have good things happen. So really, there's not much of a change on this boss from before Mikola. It seems like this is going to be the go-to team right here, and there's really no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's just, it's the best team. This is the one spot Ludovic really shines here. Ludovic's damage output, healing output, all these things really add up in this boss, and you can't really afford to not have Freesto, because between him and the illusion, it's going to be pretty good for this boss. So already hitting 32 billion at 47 seconds. That's really good. That's way ahead of the curve compared to what you guys saw before. The only thing I could think with this team is finding a way to maybe get Ludovic's healing aura underneath the melee just a little bit more for additional damage, but I don't know if that's going to be possible. 42 billion, 43 billion. See if we can break a record maybe. 44, 45. If we can keep them alive right here, that would be awesome. 46. Oh, they go down. 47, 1, 47. Oh, I don't think that's a record. It was really close. No, 47, 249. I'll share that one. Actually, that might have been a record. Yeah, no, that actually was a new record, even though it didn't pop up. So same old. Looks like Ludovic wins out on the Alpha Bear. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know how you guys are enjoying Mikola. We'll be having kind of like our final review of both Mikola and Lily May most likely tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. See you guys next time.